What up, what up, what up? ASTRODIM is back in this BI. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm here to talk about this aqua new moon, and I know I'm late as fuck. I apologize for that. But I still want to give you information. Will you take it? Is it alright? Are we cool? Now, it is the year of the pig in Chinese, horoscope and zodiac, and it's known as like a prosperous year among all the 12 signs, the 12 years. So, abundance should be good. The cool thing about the year of the pig, though, is that people usually, in Chinese astrology, if it's your year, usually you don't have the best luck because, they say that the stars is opposite to Jupiter. But with, I think it's called Tai Su. I might be pronouncing this incorrectly. But, because, I don't know much about Chinese astrology, but it's just things that I've picked up. But anyways, like I was saying, usually though, the cool thing about people that were born in the year of the pig, they can have luck that's not the best, but it ain't the worst. You know what I mean? And so they usually tend to not have to deal with like the rest of the bullshit the other signs have to deal with. But I can say that I know personally someone who was born the year of the pig, and it was a pig year, and they got arrested. So you never know. You literally never know. You know what I mean? So that's how it be sometimes, y'all. All right. With that being said, though, good luck and good fortune is probably being like pushed onto us. We are probably getting clues on how to do it with some other aspects that I've been seeing with this new moon energy. So let's go to it. Let's switch over to the astrology that I know. The zodiac astrology, the tropic astrology, and go from there. Okay. So I don't like calling it Western because people have been using the tropics forever, and people have been using, it's been a thing. It's not just Western. It wasn't discovered in Greece. People of the Americas, people in Africa, been used astrology. So I like to just call it tropic astrology. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this new moon. Okay. So this new moon is in Aquarius. The new moon happens. Hold on. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyways, like I was saying, this new moon is happening the 4th of February. What's lovely, I have to say it. I'm from Boston, so the Patriots won the Super Bowl, and the parade was on the 5th, and so nice to have that new moon energy serve us. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right. So, but the new moon was on the 4th. Actually, it's funny because it was around 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when the new moon happened. So that's pretty cool. But the new moon was 15 degrees 45 minutes in Aquarius. Okay. The interesting thing is that it's in 15 degrees Aquarius. 1 and 5 reduces to 6. And 6 is connected to reflection, not forgetting where you came from, giving back, reflecting on some emotional things, your soulmate, victory, success, recognition, confidence, you know what I mean? So that's thinking back too when you are getting recognition, because they're thinking back of the time in which you were good, or you're thinking back of a time in which you had victory and you're proud of yourself, and now you feel like you need to celebrate. So that's still a form of reflection, right? It's like a rite of passage and releasing baggage, right? And so it's interesting because if you kind of bring a tarot into it, right? It is Aquarius, so I'll say we'll probably pay attention to the 6 of Swords. And the 6 of Swords is definitely connected to, energy of it being like a rite of passage and releasing baggage and just moving away from something that no longer serves you. You know what I mean? And so that's definitely energy that we're probably trying to push forward to, getting messages knowing when to go, knowing when to go into that rite of passage and to grow up and to be the most successful that we can be. You get what I'm saying? All right. So, let me tell you generally what the new moon means. I like to do this in every new moon video just in case I get some new listeners. I know I got some new subscribers too, so what's up to y'all? Hello, hello, hello. The new moon basically is when the sun and the moon is in the same sign in the same degree in the very same minute. Okay, that's what it is astrologically. But you know, it's when it comes to like astronomically, it's basically pretty much the same thing when the sun and the moon is in the same area. Now, it doesn't have to actually cross each other directly. When it crosses each other directly, that's like an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, of which we had last month. Well, actually, a lunar eclipse. We had a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse is when it goes that way. Sorry, I'm all over the place today, y'all. Sorry. A lunar eclipse is when the sun and the moon's opposite, but it doesn't have to literally be exactly across from each other. Like the sun could be like way farther north than the moon and vice versa, but they're still in the same vicinity of each other astronomically. You get what I'm saying? At least into our view from the earth, you know? But what does it really mean astrologically when, you know, kind of try to get the interpretation of it? Well, astrologically, a new moon basically is when our feelings and how we react to them are in sync. You know what I mean? Usually, like with the full moon, we feel one way where we react another way. But now our emotions and our mind are linking. We are comfortable with reacting to our emotions. We are totally understanding how we're feeling and we're directly reacting to them. And because we're so much in sync, that's why this is the best time to actually manifest. It's because we're so much in sync that and we have such a clear channel that we are able to know what we want and take actions to get what we want, both energetically, physically, emotionally, all that. Okay, all that. So it's really, really cool. It's great manifestation time. We can manifest anytime, at any moment. But of course, you know, we are in space, so it's best for us to work with the energies that are with us to get what we want. Okay, so if you have any energy that's pretty close, like conjuncting the new moon or trining the new moon or doing a positive aspect to this new moon, again, that's in 15 degrees Aquarius, definitely try to use some of that energy and make some shit happen. Okay. Now, I know I'm saying this on February 6th. You got until tomorrow to do some new moon manifestations. The new moon and the full moon too, but the new moon and full moon energy lasts about a week, 3 days before the full moon and 3 days after the full moon. Same with the new moon, okay? So definitely keep that in mind. I know I'm doing this really, really late, but also keep in mind too that, like I said before, you can manifest anytime you want, okay? All right, so this new moon is in the Mercury decant of Aquarius, okay, which is the second decant of Aquarius. And so, you know, let me actually just talk about a new moon in Aquarius and what exactly that means, right? This is a time of us happily accepting and understanding people's perceptions of us and taking it in, scanning it, seeing what resonates with us, taking what we need to, throw away what we don't connect with. You know what I mean? This is a great energy of us really understanding what society wants from us, what we want from society, and really reflecting on it, taking action, and making the proper changes to make our lives better. Okay? Now, this is really important because, you know, Aquarius energy is connected to a lot of things. It's connected to dreams and aspirations. It's connected to uniqueness and individuality. It's connected to ingeniousness. It's connected to friends and network and just society at large and the universal consciousness, right? And when you think about this, all these things kind of connect with what is different about us and how the society overall views it. how do our circle overall view it? Like our friends, our network, our non-immediate family members, they are a part of our network in general. They are our miniature society. And so if we're like showing our uniqueness and individuality and talents, they're perceiving and let us know, and we're perceiving theirs as well. There's like a give back and forth, you know. But while doing this, we can kind of use these perceptions and get these gifts that we have, which our gifts come from the opposite sign, which is Leo. But get these gifts and then really bring it to the overall larger society. You know what I mean? That's why it's really, really important for us to actually have positive, constructive people who really want the best for us to be in our side, to be in our circle, so we can use the gifts that God has given us to really help the world, no matter how small or big it may seem. You know what I mean? So with this new moon, you know, I really connected with us having a new beginning connected to our talents, how we perceive them, how other people perceive them, a new beginning with friends and your network, and either kicking some necessary people out or bringing some positive people in. More on bringing positive people in. Kicking people out is more for Leo season, when it's Aquarius full moon, right? And just like kind of honestly getting information from society to see how we can get at our dreams and aspirations. You get what I'm saying? So it's just definitely a new beginning when it comes to our individuality and uniqueness and how people perceive it. How people perceive what we give to the world. You know what I mean? And so it's an important new moon. It's very connected to us, to society overall, but definitely to us, because it is our gift, our individuality that we're bringing out to the world. You know what I mean? So it's really, really interesting and important for us to kind of bring this in. Now, the interesting thing, like I said before, this is in the second decan of Aquarius, and so with this energy, we're really being quite mercurial when it comes to, you know, these things such as our network, our dreams and aspirations, how people perceive us, and the gifts that we give. Dreams and aspirations, I don't know if I already said that already, but I can say it again because it's that important. But we're really like, you know, thinking things through, being logical, seeing what makes sense. Communicating with the people, connecting with them, learning from them. Okay, like I mentioned before, learning what people have to say about like how they perceive what we give to, what we give to the table, what we give to the family, what we give to society. You know what I mean? And so we ourselves are really reflecting and thinking back and looking through and scanning through all situations in which people, you know, gave some feedback or criticism to what we give to the world, or to our friends in general, or to whatever, right? Anything that's connected to our dreams and aspirations and our individuality. Whether it hurt us or not, we're reflecting on them now. You know what I mean? Remember, the number 6 is all about reflection, like I said before. And we're seeing what resonates with us, what makes sense, what is like, what was strictly hating, what was really like someone trying to help us. And we're going to see and scan this information through so we can apply to our lives, and the things that we shouldn't apply to our lives we can discard, so we can go after that dream and aspiration, so we can go and help society with our personal gifts, you know what I mean, and do what we feel what we have to do to feel fulfilled in life, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, all that. Okay, and that's really, really important. It's really important for us to connect with what will fulfill us in life. And the funny thing about it is, you know, we'll feel fulfilled by helping society the way that we can help society, not from what people think how we should help society. Do you get what I'm saying? That what gives us the most happiness. It really would. And that's going to fulfill our needs, but it's also going to be the best way we can help society, and we can grow spiritually, you know what I mean, ascend spiritually. So that's what I see for that, all right? So, with that being said, since it's the year to pick, like I mentioned before, I really think that We can be pulling in some good info from other people. Put a logical mind instead of an emotional mind to it, to see how we can help ourselves and help others at the same damn time. And that will give us luck and fortune, like the year of the pig. It is said that, like, with the year of the pig, the story is that, like, the pig, there was supposed to be like a big party for the emperor, and the pig came last. And, like, you know, when everything was done and the party was all lit already, you know what I mean? And so, like, you know, that's what we're wanting. You know, we want the party to be lit already. We want that happiness to be here, you know. The thing is, though, is that sometimes it takes a little bit of work to get there. You know, we can get that fortune that pig had at that moment, you know. Anywho, let's go through those aspects, okay? So the first aspect I'm peeping with this new moon, right? This new moon is conjunct Mercury. So with this energy, this is dope, because not only are we, our emotions are synced with how we're reacting to things, and it's synced to our identity and our self-expression, but our emotions and self-expression is in sync with our mind as well, our logical mind. And again, with that Mercury energy, we are literally doing things, creating the processes and procedures, and taking the steps and creating the routine to get the things that we want to manifest in life, which is connected to not only our network and friends, but our dreams and aspirations. So it's really, really good energy here. We not only can express how we feel, but we can logically put it into thought and into communication, and then we can actually take the steps to get that thing that we are that we're feeling that we need, or that we want to express. You know what I mean? And so this is dope energy. This energy is of community too. So, you know, if we kind of come together, use our network, use the people around us to help us follow our dreams and aspirations, help us be more comfortable with being unique in our true selves, then we can really make everybody happy. You get what I'm saying? And so it's a dope energy for sure. But you know, what's dope about this energy too is just like usually with Aquarius, they're very smart people, very genius, right, and have a unique mind, but they can be stuck in their heads, and because they're fixed, those beautiful genius thoughts can be stuck in their head, and they'll have a hard time expressing it because they're too fixated on certain aspects of that genius thought. You get what I'm saying? I have a lot of Aquarius people in my life, and I've seen it happen. They'll have these lovely ideas and not follow through with it at all. It is not that they can't follow through. It's just that they're so stuck on, like, okay, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And they're just stuck in their head. But with the moon, right, conjuncting this energy with the sun, this new moon energy, we're being emotionally motivated to express our thoughts, to take action to our thoughts, to bring validity to our thoughts, to bring vitality to our thoughts. The yin and the yang is coming together, and that's going to literally bring life, the masculine and the feminine. You get what I'm saying? And so we're bringing life to our thoughts. So this is why this is like literally insane, positive, beautiful manifestation power. This is we're more able to manifest in this time, probably more than ever, because the new moon is conjunct Mercury, because we can literally bring our thoughts into life. Okay, so I know I'm coming in late, but if you can, try to do those new moon manifestations, y'all. Seriously, you can literally bring shit to life, your thoughts to life. This is also reiterating too, especially if you've been seeing 111 lately. Be sure you think positive thoughts, okay? If we all come together, we can literally, like, do something as society. If enough people did this, like, wish that there's no more world hunger, we can literally make that happen with our minds. This is how real this shit is, especially with it being an Aquarius energy. We can literally end shit, you know what I mean? And make shit, like, positive and beautiful. It could happen, I'm telling you. All right, so keep that in mind, okay? Another energy that I see, or another aspect I see, excuse me, is this new moon is semi-sextile Neptune. Like, I usually don't talk about semi-sextiles, but I do want to talk about it right now, okay? Semi-sextiles are interesting because they're like a not so bad version of in conjunctions. So an in conjunction is if like an energy is about 5 signs away from another planet or another energy. You get what I'm saying? And so with that, with in conjuncts, they are not the same modality, element, or season. But semi-sextiles, they're not the same modality, they're not the same element, but they are of the same season, okay? And so especially with Aquarius being in the middle of the winter seasons, you know, what sextile in Aquarius is Capricorn and Neptune, and and Pisces, and Neptune is in Pisces, okay? So this is actually exact here. That the full moon is exactly semi-sextile to Neptune, so this energy is really strong. This energy is actually mentioning that we're probably channeling some potent ass information and we're just not getting it logically. And it's going to take us a while to get it, just like with in conjuncts, but it may be a little bit faster than most because, at least we are the same season. We have the same goal of maturity, of growth, of ascension, both earthbound ascension and spiritual ascension. We got the same goal. You know what I mean? But how to go about it and the temperament of it is what's conflicting us. And so, Aquarius is not really connected to emotion. They're actually known to being quite detached. But in order for you to understand your intuitions, you have to really you need to attach to your emotions. You know what I mean? It's funny with Aquarius, like even the most intuitive and psychic Aquarius I know, and I've known a lot, right? They can be so intuitive to other people's situations, but not their own because they detach themselves from their emotions. You get what I'm saying? And so, this energy is literally with this Neptune is trying to not only help you help society, it's trying to help you help yourself too, and it's trying to help you help yourself so you can help society. And so and Aquarius is not all about being intuitive with their own emotion. They could be intuitive with everyone else's situation. So that's where the miss is happening there. You get what I'm saying? Another energy that I see too is that this new moon is actually semi-sextile Saturn as well, which is really interesting. It's really interesting because it's also at 15 degrees. So Neptune's at 15 degrees Pisces, the new moon's at 15 degrees Aquarius, and Saturn is at 15 degrees Capricorn, okay? And so this energy is similar to what I was saying before, but it's not really intuitive energy that's trying to give us some keys and us not missing it, and us totally missing it. This is like authority giving us information and we're totally not getting it. We're totally missing it. Authority is trying to tell us how we can, and when I say authority, I mean authority figures, okay? Older people, our ancestors, even not our spiritual ancestors, but the ones that are still with us today, our parents, just people that are older who are some form of authority figure for people that we actually respect somehow. They're trying to tell us how we can get what we want to get in a practical way. And how we should just push forward. Capricorn is a cardinal sign. It's all about, all right, you know what you want practically. Now let's get it going. Let's get it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. You know what I mean? And again, like I mentioned about Aquarius energy, very genius, very smart, but it's hard for them to take that action, to bring that idea to reality. Even with Mercury being here, you know what I mean? Once the steps are taken, right? Once they realize, okay, we need to take some steps, right? With that Mercury energy, they'll start to be taken on more of the like Virgo side of the Mercury and be focused too much on perfecting the process and the procedure and the steps that need to be taken to get their dreams and aspirations or whatever they want to get going. while the Capricorn and Saturn and Capricorn is kind of like, okay, you need to like start doing shit and doing it now. Like, what are you doing? And so it's so funny because both of these energies are literally trying to tell us how to go about this thing that we want, and we're just stuck here. And it sucks because, you know, what's happening is like we emotionally are in sync with our expression. We know what we feel. We're emotionally motivated. We want to take action. We're ready to bring life into it. We're expressing ourselves with it. We have the mind and the thoughts and the know-how to go at it. But we're thinking about the what ifs, how, should, what. Because again, we're a little bit too focused on people's perceptions. Now, people's perceptions are very, very important. How people think of our situation is very important, especially if this is truly critical or constructive criticism, because, you know, we want to make sure that we're doing what we have to do the best way we know how, the best way that we could. But at the same time, if you're too focused on what other people want, then, you know, you can be like the Aquarius energy, have all these genius ideas, not taking action because you still thinking about the what ifs and should I or how or I need to take time. You know, you're still focused on that. And so, you know, these two energies are really confusing the Aquarius energy that's within society at this moment. You know, it's really interesting. Lastly, we're actually having a sextile here. This new moon is sextile Jupiter. And so this is really dope energy because Jupiter, especially in Sag, is, you know, full of good luck, optimism, and prosperity. And so, you know, Jupiter, what it is making our ideas big, is making our thoughts big, is making our emotions big. It is expanding how we are feeling and how we want to attack this situation, this new manifestation, this dream, is an aspiration, us expanding our network, whatever that we're interested in, is expanding it. But it's also giving us ideas or different philosophies on how to go about this certain thing that we want. You get what I'm saying? And so it's pretty cool. Like, it's giving us good luck, but also giving us some ideas on how can we get the best and the most out of this thing that we want. That's why Neptune's all about expanding, because it wants you to get the most and the best and the luckiest. You know what I mean? It's trying to get the best for us. You get what I'm saying? And so that's where that energy is kind of connected there. But it definitely makes this new moon very optimistic and full of good luck because of, you know, sorry, it's interrupted. So this actually brings optimism and good luck to our manifestation, us manifesting whatever that we want. You know what I mean? Especially with this Aquarius new moon, the bigger the number, the better it will be. Because again, Aquarius represents large groups. You know what I mean? But we don't need that. You know, this is actually beautiful energy because, you know, even the manifestation that you want, you can really make happen when it comes to like bigger groups of people. But what I do suggest is, you know, you can definitely wish for like wonderful things like no more world hunger, no more poverty and stuff like that. But a great thing for you to wish to is how you can help through that. If you have great ideas to help good people, and just the people around the world in general, wish for the opportunity to bring that idea out there. Wish for the opportunity to, you know, be known by society, be known by the world. Have, you know, wish for having a better network for the thing that you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, you can wish for things for yourself with the Aquarian energy still. You don't have to be 100% like humanitarian. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind with that Jupiter energy, okay? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it off here. And for my Patreon folks, I'm actually going to talk a little bit more. For my Patreon folks, I'm not going to talk about fixed stars because there's actually no fixed star conjuncting this new moon, which is interesting, right? First in a while. But I will talk about the new moon in each house and what it will mean to you depending on where this new moon is in your chart. I keep getting interrupted, y'all. I'm so sorry. Anyways, like I was saying, there's no fixed stars, but what I'm gonna do is talk about how the new moon's gonna affect you, by going through, like how it'll affect you. I can't even talk right now. What is wrong with me? So I'm gonna be talking about how this new moon's gonna affect you per like through which house is going to be in for you. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just talk about the new moon and the first house, the second house, third house, and all the way to the 12th. Basically, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know why I can't like actually say this. And it's so funny because, like, you know what's crazy? Been saying for a while, since like December, right? It's a quick astro moment for you guys. That, oh my God, like, I can't talk worth a shit. Like, processing my thoughts is sometimes hard, and I can't communicate that well like I want to. And I just realized that I'm not only having Virgo rising for my solar return, but it's my perfection. Mercury, Virgo, and Mercury is my perfection sign in month 2. And so, like, I'm really supposed to be not only, you know, focusing on my thoughts and communication, like a little bit, yeah, that's effective for sure, but the routine in my life and stuff. And that's been a like huge theme already, even in December, even though my solar return happened in early January. But they say that about a month prior, you're going to feel your solar return. And yeah, I definitely did. But, you know, Virgo, like the whole theme of like Virgo and Mercury is going to be holding on to me strong for this year. So I might be talking crazy, even though that, you know, the communication side of Mercury is more Gemini, but I think it's going to apply to me still. I think it is still applying to me. You know what I mean? Which is funny too, because my rising sign and my solar return last year was Gemini. So, you know, yeah, just Mercury'd out. Anyways, what I'll also talk about too, which is really, really dope, is this aspect pattern called the eye. All right. And what it is basically is a sextile with 2 semi-sextiles. And does that sound familiar? Sextile, 2 semi-sextiles? Because I talked about it in the aspects. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on that. This eye is happening between the sextile of Neptune and Saturn with the semi-sextile of the new moon. So yeah, this is some big shit here, and I'm going to be talking more deeply into it. If you're interested in learning more about it, and supporting the kid, you just follow me on Patreon. Literally, to listen to this in full, it's just $2 a month, okay? It's not that much. If you want to get even more from me, you know, I will definitely provide. I have tiers. So, the more you pay, the more you get. You can look at my tiers and, you know, provide accordingly. And I'll help you out. But the thing is, you have to stay up on it, though, because I be messaging people on Patreon and they don't tell me nothing. I only have one Patreon that actually messaged me and talks to me and, you know, asks me what's up and keeps me on my toes. And I appreciate it, though. But I had a Patreon that, like, you know, I've been messaging them on Patreon. That's the only way I could message them. And then they like unfollow me because they said, oh, I didn't get the things from the tiers. Well, I was messaging you, Rue. The fuck? Anyway, let me stop going off my tangent. I'm going to go and serve my patrons via Patreon. Okay? All right. Peace, y'all.